People are aroused. I haven't seen people so aroused in a very, very long time.
Welcome to What's Left podcast on the Derealization Nation Media Network.
I can't afford Mountain Dew! Okay? The economy's rough right now! Obama!
Miners, I love miners.
And now, your hosts.
Hey, that's us. It's John, it's Jake, it's Brad. It's the What's Left podcast on the Derealization Media Network. You guys, the Derealization Media, making this thing happen. Thanks for liking, sharing, and subscribing out there. Seeing you all over social media this week, and we really appreciate that so much. Because without you guys, this thing, it doesn't happen. So I hope you guys enjoyed your 4th of July as much as possible for whatever reason, Not necessarily because you had to celebrate this nation, but, any day you get a day off of work is a pretty good day. So hopefully you got a day off of work at least out of this thing. So let's talk about what went down over 4th of July weekend, and not in your backyard necessarily. Let's talk about what went down in Washington, D.C. So Trump had his celebration. We're going to start there. And then we're going to talk about how we got here. But let's start with where we are. And here's where we are. Celebration marked 250 years of U.S. independence. Faced technical malfunctions and delays caused by a heat wave and lightning storms. Chaos unfolded when the crowds who waited to see Donald Trump, they heard storm, were ordered to evacuate due to severe weather. Trump insisted events resume, delivering a speech 2 hours behind schedule.
All over the world, they try and be like us. Nobody can be like us. You look at Venezuela, you look at Iran, we wiped out their military.
Scorching sun forced several events and parades to be canceled.
We just tried to ensure we froze a bunch of waters last night, so we kept those frozen on us all day to keep our bodies cool. And then we're drinking them as they unfreeze. And then once we get inside, hopefully we'll have enough continuous water to keep us hydrated.
250th anniversary came with Washington D.C. faced record-breaking heat wave and looming evening thunderstorms.
Of course, you don't fly aircraft when there's a thunderstorm. We all know that.
Fighter jets took flight, fireworks lit up the sky during the storm. We're talking about these fireworks too. One malfunctioning firework sparked a fire on the Brooklyn Bridge during competing shows over the Hudson and East Rivers. No one was hurt. Everybody's seen this video. That dude.
Maybe that guy was hurt a little.
Yeah, he was all right. He lived. Connecticut, Pennsylvania canceled celebrations because of the heat. Despite disruption, Trump called it one of the most joyous and glorious moments in U.S. history. Hyperbole much?
One of my very brilliant people backstage said, "Don't worry about it, sir. We can do it maybe next week." I said, "It doesn't work next week. This is the big day. We want July 4th. We're not looking for July something else. Because this is the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. Nothing like it. For 2.5 centuries, our American republic has stood as the crowning achievement of human history.
The crowning achievement of human history. The greatest night in America. Any notes on Trump's analysis of the country?
I it's not that great.
No, I don't think anybody was really feeling that much this year.
I think that the individuals in our country are great. The government has failed us completely.
Yeah.
Your neighbors are likely great people. The government that represents your neighbors, not great people.
The system, working as designed, brought us Donald Trump. Jake, would you call that a functioning system? I would suggest we probably have some work to do there.
Functioning in the fact that they will never give up on a celebration, even at the risk of their own citizens. Yes.
Yeah.
They will always function to celebrate him in some weird way. Functioning system? No.
Yeah.
No.
Kind
That
of
we are not.
the irony of Trump talking about how he needed the 4th of July is that the speech ran into the 5th of July, as did the fireworks. That's how late it got started. So even with his best efforts, it still ended up late. So that's cool. They set a world record for fireworks. It's the most fireworks put off in 40 minutes. Here's what that looks like. Here's the beginning. Pretty cool. Cool. Not bad. Not bad. And there's the end. After 40 minutes of just non-stop fireworks, it looks like any other. It just looks like DC has been bombed. If you're just watching, like you literally can see nothing but a thick plume of mostly black smoke. There's hints of light in the background, but it's mostly just literally looks like a post-nuclear disaster. It's still going. It's still going. And that video is sped up too.
That's so good for the environment, right?
So good. Well, Jacob, is so good for the
So
environment that today in Washington,
So good.
D.C., the air quality index was so bad that they had to tell people to remain in their homes because of a thick smog remained about the city.
I wonder why.
Yeah. Well,
That's
something
crazy.
like 800,000 fireworks, all these flyovers. And I don't know about you guys, but like all I can think about every time I see a military flyover is there goes millions of dollars. Like there goes millions of dollars. Here we are in the middle of an oil crisis. And there we go, fucking burning up jet fuel for what? For fucking tricks that nobody's really watching anyway. And it's just not it's not fucking necessary. It's not impressive. And here this guy like ran on not being Mr. Military, Mr. Start a War, even though we knew who the fuck he was from his first term. And now he's out here talking about how great the military is and how it's the best thing that happened to America and it's our strength and yada yada yada. Even though he doesn't give a fuck about veterans or anything else. But he loves a parade. Happy to use him for a parade. Fuck him.
Gotta show him off.
Gotta show him off. Oh God. So zooming back in on this part, the chaos. These are when the Trump supporters were told they had to evacuate for the weather. After having stood in line, they did what they usually do and stormed the place. See the chaos, the running. They were pissed. And they had kind of a right to be because they were held out of line at this thing for 5 to 6 hours without water, without cooling stations. And once they got inside, there was free water and cooling stations. And so they're inside for whatever period of time. And then they're told they've got to get the fuck back out after having waited in line for as much as 5 hours to get in. Now they're being told they have to get back out. And these people, guys, they were still there at 2:00 in the morning to see the smoke show. I don't have a word for how fucking ridiculous you have to be. And I don't mean to offend if you took a long trip to get to Washington, D.C., and it's your family vacation, and that's what you're there to see. I'm not here to knock you. But why was that your family vacation in the first fucking place? I have to ask. I have to know. Like, what the fuck were you thinking? This man has failed at everything that he's ever done, and he always lets down his supporters first. So I don't know. Or am I the only one who is, mind fucked by this?
I hadn't heard really any details of it except for I'm a big fireworks guy, so I like looked up displays yesterday, and I saw how bad the humidity affected the fireworks at DC because it happened once to us in Newton Falls. Like
Also,
by the end of the show, you couldn't see anything. There were no
yeah.
fireworks to be seen because the smoke sat. You know what I mean? It just sat there.
Yep.
But that's really all I heard about the event. I know that it was wicked hot, and I saw people like, let Trump speak for 6 hours if it's going to be 107 degrees. I bet he can't do it.
Yeah, right. For sure. And of course, he rambled on for like 2 hours about communism, about everything. And I love that they're like, go with that. Go with communism. I love that that is your chosen weapon here. Like, go with McCarthyism because nobody gives a shit about any of that. In fact, Jake, before we go any further, you pop up the one bar graph that I sent you, please.
All right, so here it is. Gen Z rates socialism above capitalism, while communism nearly matches capitalism. For each of the following, they have a favorite or unfavorable position. Favorable socialism clears at 18 to 29 by a long shot.
Yeah.
And 38% of the people at 18 to 29 favor communism, which is hilarious. 65 and over, that number is spot. That's actually probably not even close. It's probably like 80.
Yeah.
15, 5. But
yeah, this 23%, that's new to them. The 65 plus, like they're learning on the fly about this stuff. But yeah, it's just crazy. Like that old fucking these tropes, like nobody gives a shit about that. We are living in a fucking hellscape created by capitalism. You cannot scare us with some fucking buzzwords anymore. Like nobody fucking cares. And explain to me why it is that like you will defend the Patriot Front's right to show up to these fucking places to be an openly Klan like the famously the ACLU defended the First Amendment rights of the Ku Klux Klan. Well, who defended the First Amendment rights of the fucking communists in the 1950s? Goddamn nobody. Nobody. This country has always, always, always turned their back on people's free speech when it comes to speaking about socialist policy. And they fucking goddamn shot about half the people who were charismatic enough to be leading a movement. So, you know, something to think about. There might be something on the other side of that door, you know, because if this is what they want you to have, which is fucking nothing. So, you know, maybe like be curious about socialism, get informed about what Marxism actually is, because this ain't it. This ain't it. We're going to talk about the history of this, and then we're going to get to back to the modern day, and we're going to talk about the future. But first, the thing is like we can't get anywhere until we reckon with our past. And this is a real reminder about on America's the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence of where we've come from.
Our ancestors know the myth of America was built upon our extermination. This 4th of July is yours, not ours. Black and indigenous bodies carry the blood memory of becoming martyrs for future generations to live. Our solidarity rooted in ancestral wisdom, our liberation rooted in love, our freedom rooted in resistance. Today marks 250 years of stolen land, a nation built through genocide and exploitation. Today we see each other as water, reflections of how our lives offer healing, and we remember that this land was built by you and me.
The Bliss Collective. I thought it was important to hear from an indigenous person on the 4th of July weekend celebration. And we continue to allow this genocide to continue. Like this is our current policy. Like this isn't just like something that like happened once and was forgotten about and isn't taught. Like we continue to do it. Like we just recognized the 1,000th day of the genocide in Gaza. Even today as we speak, they're bombing Lebanon. They've bombed Syria. We have ravaged all of Africa for resources. And this sort of thing just continues, perpetuates. And then we're shocked when we end up with a Donald Trump as leader. You know? And we shouldn't be shocked because this is actually Donald Trump makes the most sense when you look at the history of America. Like this is the logical conclusion of this. Like,
this country was founded on genocide, slavery, fascism. It carries out all of those things across the world to this day. How do you exist in the United States knowing all of this? What is there to kind of celebrate?
I mean, look, as an American, we live in the belly of the beast. It is the center of domination around the world. It's also a country of 350 million people. That's a lot of people who are being immiserated just because of how capitalism functions. I take a lot of my strength and motivation from the fact that there are growing numbers of people in the US who are organizing to make this a better, more equitable place, not just for the people living in it, but for everyone around the world. Revolutionary spirit and organizing in the US is important literally for the future of the world. As if it wasn't bad enough that the US subjugates like the majority of the world to live in like absolute misery and poverty to enrich like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel. That's bad enough. They're literally destroying the planet with this system as this like imperial hegemon. So it's like incumbent upon us to be a part of fixing that in whatever way we can. And I think there's a history to be proud of in the US for people organizing. And that's what we don't learn about in history class. You don't learn about the movements that led to abolitionism. Abraham Lincoln, you know, just freed the slaves. It's like, that's not how it happened. Lots of things happened to build to that moment. Lots of things happened to build to the rights of workers. Lots of things happened to end prior wars. And lots of things are happening now to hopefully upend this system. Not because like we're all evil and just hate America, but because this is the most powerful, destructive empire in the history of the world. What you do, what people like us do, makes a difference in helping to change the world. Not because we're better, but merely because if the US becomes a better, more equitable place that isn't about constantly just parasiting off of everyone under capitalism, then it makes the world by default a better place.
I thought that was cool because we actually had that discussion before. You know, like it's important. I believe Brad said it, like it's important that the United States be better because that is what makes it has the potential to make the world a better place. We have that potential.
Yeah, we are the most powerful country in the world. We just use it for evil instead of making the world better. We use it to, you know, drain it of its resources and kill children overseas.
Yes. Yeah, I think people are waking up to that fact, which she fails to mention there or sort of glazes over, is that like we had the most violent labor movement in the history of the world. And not because the laborers became violent toward the employers, but because cops became violent toward workers. That's how this started. And that's that same fight like that you see in like the civil rights movements and all of the and the gay rights movement. Like these movements like they have been peaceful, but they have also had their moments where they have had to fight because this system is violent. It is violent. That's the system that we have created. Just take Puerto Rico, for instance. Here's a video from Puerto Rico.
Visit Puerto Rico, America's favorite colony, territory. The Caribbean island famous for its tropical beaches, historic icons, breathtaking scenery, but mostly for... Fortunately, however, few know about the real Puerto Rico, a territory of the United States since 1898, when we seized it from the Spanish, who in turn stole it from the Taino, which makes Puerto Ricans U.S. citizens, well, second-class citizens, because despite fighting in every one of our wars, they still can't vote for president and have no representation in Congress. In other words, U.S. citizens who have fuck all say in the laws the U.S. government makes for them. And to bring you the ultimate colonial experience, we've made a few over the years, like the gag law, which banned their flag and brutally suppressed independence movements, bombing the crap out of Vieques for 60 years, conducting birth control experiments on Puerto Rican women, unemployment. And of course, the Jones Act, which enforced a U.S. corporate monopoly that crippled local industry and, along with other crap, created shit tons of debt. Debt which Wall Street vulture funds bought up like blood-sucking chupacabras. And when Puerto Ricans could no longer pay back that debt, we made a new law. No, not to ease poverty and unemployment, but to impose austerity measures, cutting pensions and the minimum wage, cutting university funding, closing down schools and hospitals. Today, many Puerto Ricans are fleeing the island from this unholy shit show we created, which of course gives rich gringos the chance to move in and buy out tropical beaches at a discount. Don't miss our special neo-colonial tax holiday package. And you too can be a pirate of the Caribbean, sipping pina colada with chupacabras, while Puerto Ricans get kicked out of their homes. Visit Puerto Rico, the island you never even knew we were colonizing the shit out of. Authorized by the Department for the War and Territories. Also responsible for bullshit in American Samoa, U.S. Virgin Islands, North Marianas, and Guam.
Yeah, we do that. We still do that. Trump especially hates Puerto Rico, famously.
He spoke with the Puerto Rican president. Do you remember?
He did. That's right.
You remember?
He did. He did say that. The president of Puerto Rico. What do you suppose he thought that was?
I don't know.
I think there's somebody that just like constantly prank calls them and pretends to be different world leaders.
Yeah.
All
Hey,
right.
Donald, this is Chris from Europe. You remember me, right?
Yeah, it's Chris Europe. Because that's all he has every say to his phone anyway. Mr. Toyota. It's Ralph Toyota again. Hey, Jake, will you pop up? Give me Trump's Trump's quote that I have there.
Lovely.
Those millions gathered for the funeral of Ayatollah Khomeini. This is what our president had to say about the crowds.
They are all there, one shot, and we can take them all out. We are not going to do that because then we would have nobody to negotiate with. Donald Trump, U.S. president.
So, like I said, when you have what is the natural? He's basically the most natural, logical conclusion to this colonialism. You give us slide over one and let's see. This is the Iranian ambassador says people can be killed, but ideals cannot. You killed the Ayatollah Khomeini, but in reality, you broke a perfume bottle whose scent spread every place. You don't understand things because you have neither civilization, nor history, nor honor. Ouch. Oh.
This feels very obvious, though.
Yeah.
To get people to stop screaming death to America, stop killing the generations that came before them.
That's weird. It wasn't part of the MOU. They didn't have despite how often you hear about how important that is to they say death to America. They didn't even bring that up in the MOU though. In these peace negotiations, nobody's even talked about that, which I think is, telling. And of course they say that, like you said, Brad, why wouldn't they? Here's one more fun clip from an old 60 Minutes interview with Farrakhan.
You go to Nigeria, which is, if not the most corrupt nation in Africa, and it is, it could be the most corrupt nation in the world, Minister Farrakhan.
Oh, now, Mr. Wallace.
It is the most corrupt nation that I have ever covered. I've been there 25 years ago, and I've been there as recently as last year.
Fine. So what? 35 years old. That's what that nation is. Now here's America, 226 years old. You love democracy, but there in Africa, you're trying to force these people into a system of government that you just have accepted. 30 years ago, black folk got the right to vote. You're not in any moral position to tell anybody how corrupt they are. You should be quiet and let those of us who know our people go there and help them get out of that condition. But America should keep her mouth shut wherever there's a corrupt regime, as much hell as America has raised on the earth. No, I will not allow America or you, Mr. Wallace, to condemn them as the most corrupt nation on earth when you have spilled the blood of human beings. Has Nigeria dropped an atomic bomb and killed people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Have they killed off millions of Native Americans? How dare you put yourself in that position as a moral judge? I think you should keep quiet, because with that much blood on America's hands, you have no right to speak. I will speak. because I don't have that blood on my hand. Yes, there's corruption there. Yes, there's mismanagement of resources. Yes, there is abuse. There's abuse in every nation on earth, including this one. So let's not play holy to moralize on them. Let's help them.
I'm not moralizing. I'm asking a question, and I got an answer.
Why would you put it as the most corrupt regime in the world? That doesn't make sense.
Can you think of one more corrupt?
Yeah, I'm living in one. I'm living in one. Yes, you've done a hell of a thing on this earth, so you should not be the one to talk. You should be quiet when it comes to moral condemnation, in my judgment.
Damn. How do you think you'd feel about the war in Iran? Think you feel about the genocide in Gaza?
See what I fucking mean?
Yeah, told you. Ugh, yeah, bro, that's who we are. But we can and must be better. It's existential. Like, this is it. We've reached a lot of the conversations I had over 4th of July were about how this is it. Like, we have come to a point where it either changes or it changes. Like, something's going to give. Like, this is an inflection point. And it's up to us to make sure that it changes for the better. Let's have a quick piece of Mamdani's speech. Now, Zoran spoke for 13 minutes and 52 seconds and said more about America, gave a history lesson, an inspiration for the future in a way that Donald Trump could never. He has spoken nonstop for 12 years. And in 12 minutes, Mamdani outdid him.
Today, our nation marks 250 years since we declared our independence. When we look at America, what do we see? Here at City Hall, as I sit behind George Washington's desk, alongside new...
Before you come in the comments, MAGA, it's what's called a two-sided desk. It has drawers on both sides. Okay? Okay.
Americans who came to this country. I cannot see all of America, but like so many who came before, I can see New York City. That legacy of every generation of Americans insisting that the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness extends to them too, is no relic of the past. For generation after generation, we have been told that when the world has sent its people to our shores, it has not sent its best. It sent Puritans and Sikhs and Quakers and Muslims and Jewish people who were banished for praying the wrong way, worshiping the wrong gods, angering the wrong people. We are told that America is exceptional because we are richer, stronger, more powerful than everyone else. The truth, my friends, is that America is exceptional because here, nothing is fixed into place. It belongs to our newest Americans, those standing here with me today, all of whom were recently naturalized. Nearly a decade ago, I too felt what you feel, the joy of no longer being just a New Yorker, but an American too. You each hold a special power to determine what America means. The powerful have always known their answer. America, in their view, is an arena of supremacy, where only a select few are allowed freedom, where not all are created equal. How small they are, how weak, how unoriginal. At every moment in our past, those who led through exclusion and isolation have tried to win power and enrich themselves by turning us against one another. Division is the oldest trick in politics and the cheapest. But time and again, including 250 years ago, those forces of division have been vanquished by the forces of progress. As we mark 250 years, what do we see? We see a city of contradictions within a nation of contradictions. One where children go to sleep hungry while the world's first trillionaire hungers for more. We see masked agents terrorizing our streets, eating food cooked by our undocumented neighbors before spiriting them away in unmarked vans. We see a nation whose immense wealth has been built by those with calloused, dirt-streaked hands. And we see a nation that has allowed so much of that wealth to be held instead in the soft hands of a precious few. But that is not all we see when we look for America. We see it just as clearly in every American who still believes this country belongs to we, the people. We see America each time neighbors link arms with neighbors without asking how long they have lived here or what papers they have, as ICE invades our neighborhoods. We see America each time those young and old stand in the beating rain or the stifling heat to cast their ballots. We see America each time working people demand more, not just for themselves, but for their fellow Americans. Patriotism has never been about pretending our nation is without flaws. Patriotism is every act of righteous dissent. After all, who loves America more than those who have sacrificed so much to make it free? Ours is a nation working each day towards the perfection in which it was conceived. A nation striving each day to better itself. Therein lies the work of America. What a privilege each of us has to live in a nation that every one of its inhabitants can shape. Thank you. God bless America. God bless New York City.
So yeah, just a little inspiration, because it's, if enough of us do the right thing, we can have better things.
That's like how I feel about our country all the time.
Yeah. Well, most of the time I feel pretty like like we just fucking burn it down, start over, and whatever happens to it happens to it. But yeah, I get it. I
I believe most people are good. It's just
I do
evil's
too.
kicking our ass right now.
We really are getting our ass handed to us. But I think the tides may be turning. I kind of feel that. I don't know. Do you guys feel any? Just quickly before we close, you guys feel hope for the future?
I feel like the class consciousness is starting to happen.
Yeah. Jake, what do you think?
I never feel secure about my future.
I feel, I think I feel better about the long-term future. I just wonder how much we have to go through to get there. And I guess we won't know until we find out, you know? Well, that's all the time we have. Thanks for watching, listening, like, share, subscribing. Happy July to everybody. And enjoy your summer. Try to, but don't get burned alive by climate change. So until next time, I'm John.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Brad.
And that's what's left.
250 years of America, and I've been fortunate enough to be born in the time to watch his entire career. Welcome to Cleveland, LeBron.